Hava tila lung maru pion and Bamabi, Bachang say any other. Bachang Supian. Bamari Piore, Pissanare Yaqua, America's red nanga year, Bachang Taya, Piro, Tongani. Pari Quadalule. No, allow it ordinate. Okay, so we're going to discuss about different types of sila, right? There are different definitions and different categories of sila, but we're going to discuss only two today. And this is very important subcategories of sila, right? There are two types. One is called warita, okay? Warita, the one on the top, and the sarita, the second line, okay? Now, what is warita? Warita is the sila that you avoid, you don't do. For example, 5 precepts. Do you do any of the precepts? No, 5 precepts are for you to avoid. That's all we know, right? Every single one of you, every single Burmese know 5 precepts. Okay, you're born in Burma, even if you're not Buddhist, you're Muslim, you're Christian, they all know 5 precepts because they have their own precept also, and their precepts are very close to our Buddhist 5 precepts, right? Then we stop right there. But there is another type of sila called sarita sila. Something that you do, something that you keep, sila to keep, okay? By doing the right thing, the right performance. Okay, we're going to focus a little bit more on that because you already know about this warita sila in and out. Yes, every monk you go to, they will tell you about 5 precepts, right? Whenever you bow down to someone, a monk or the Buddha, you talk about 5 precepts. But we never talk about this sarita sila, right? Now, what's the difference? Now, warita sila is coming from the law. What kind of law? It could be law of nature, the law of karma. Or it could be the actual law by the country. You live in the United States, you got to abide the law from the Constitution, from the government. You go to Burma, you got to follow the Burmese law, right? You go to England, you got to follow the British law, right? Now, that is made by someone, either the law of nature or the president or the judge or the court or judiciary system, right? So if you don't keep, if you break 5 precepts, that's bad for your samsara. It's huge negative karmic energy. Or if it is the law by the government, it could become felony or a crime punishable by law. Okay, but a lot of time we talk about just upper one, right? We don't talk about the second one. The sarita sila is etiquette. What is an etiquette? Okay, can you give me an example? When? Very good. So you play golf. Those of you who play golf, there are certain rules that you got to follow. If you don't follow that, you are not allowed to play golf, right? But will they punish you by putting you in jail? No, it's not that bad. But they will look down on you, right? Or they'll come tell you, no, you can't do that, right? But they cannot fine you or they cannot put you in jail, right? So any sport has their related etiquette, right? When you go to the monastery, when you go to the temple and go with a shot, no, why not? Will they put you in jail? Will the monk put you in jail? No, that's their cultural etiquette, right? So you go visit someone else's house and you just go open the door of anyone's house and just go look at what do they have. Oh, your phone. Can you do that? Can I look at what's on your phone? No, you can't, right? That's the etiquette, right? Now, if I look at his phone, can he put me in jail? No, but he will look down on me. wait a minute. What's it doing? Right? Now, that's the etiquette. So the second one is etiquette. It could be customs. It's a culture, right? The Burmese culture will be quite different than the American culture, right? French culture, okay? So, for example, in French, if I do this, mean work hard. You're a great person. But if you do this in Burma, that's really, really nasty. It's an F word. So, why is that? A French guy come to Burma and do that, he will be in trouble, right? But in his country, it means, hey, work hard. So that is the custom, the culture, right? Obligation. In Pali, we call it witta. Okay? So, jinwe, we call it in Burmese, we borrow it from the Pali. Okay? Jinwe. It's the etiquette that we practice, right? In English, in school, we call it ethic. Now, I taught you Singalawara Sutta at one point, or Mingala Sutta. So we Burmese take a lot of guidelines from Buddha, from these two sutta, and make it for the Sarita. Now, if you follow that, it is beneficial. But if you don't follow, do you get very huge negative karmic energy? No, you don't. You're fine. Okay? So, general tilama, warita tilane, sarita tilane, myoshi. General bamari di, ngaba tilalo, luti nyare, chepa tila, seba tila, luti nyare, warita tilame, pyojara nyare. Ngaba tilago, yan pyojara lo, luria damona mataro. Angati bizabe. Papilla the lesro, Jauke Pilla, Jauke Yara, Buzman, a momentalo, and Awadila, Punya Lebio like, Tia, like, Miba, like Jarada Montaro. No? Nawadila di Generua, the Behema by the Warita di la Lupo. Shawamehai. Nabadila Matkuma Kumalote, Shang di la Lupo. No, Alago, Nesa di la Lucore, Bas, Mianaloa Hamolo. No? Garutama di la Lucore, the K, a Pichi Mamaya Biro, the gay who are Pasul to me, Chumachao, no time. No? Dago, General, Warita di la Lupo. Di la di, Warita di la knew the we need or the Yaudi or Logan near Marune. That's right. Dario Chupame, right? General Lutana so ye. Tanayamalemagamolo, Town like jump. You see, Kume, Tanayamalemagamу, Town like jump. To me, Adam Chasime, Tanayamalemagamу, me and Town Jam and me and on the billboard. Me, just an attempt. Hello, the Warida Tiladi, Naba Tiladi. Mache, Masai, a PG. Have you not? The Jerome Biore, sorry, that's what she did. Mari Biore, hey, the Gaulia, sorry, that Gaulita, who Gaulia, sorry, that Magamu. As I got Magamu, I got them doing it. Biore, have you met? Dao, General, please, something do. No, I would do a sound met the Lalo, Parido. The New Senlaya sound my heart. My Jerome was so, yeah? Chilan people in Emma. No? တွေ့ရနေရသရွေးမထွေးနဲ့လူရှိတွေ့ရင်ခေါင်းငုံသွားအဲ့ဒါတွေဒီ sorry တတိလာတယ်နော်အဲ့တော့ဒါတွေကဘယ်ရလာတာလဲဆိုတော့ကျွန်တော်တို့ခုနသင်္ကောလောဝါဒလာရတုတ်တန်တို့မင်္ဂလာတုတ်တော်ကနေလာနော်ပြီးရင်ဗမာနိုင်ငံမှာဒီဖျားစာတွေကမကဘူးဒီပြည့် philosopher တွေကယူထားတဲ့ကျွန်တော်တို့လောကနီတိဆိုတာရှိတယ်ကျွန်တော်တို့ငယ်တော့သင်ခဲ့ရတယ်အခုတော့မသင်ရတော့အဲ့တော့ဒါတွေအားလုံးဒီ sorry တနော်အဲ့ sorry တဒီကျွန်တော်တို့ကကျင့်အကျိုးရှိတယ်မကျင့်တန်ရာမှာဘာဖြစ်မလဲအငယ်ရတော့မကြည့်ဘူးဟုတ်လားငါအိမ်ထဲမှာခြေထောက်ကျုပ်ဒုံဒုံနဲ့နီးသွားတယ်ငါ့ကိုဖမ်းလို့ရလားမရဘူးဟုတ်နော်သတိမထွေးနဲ့ကွာထွေးတယ်ကွာဘာဖြစ်လဲဘယ်သူမှမလာဖမ်းဘူးဒီနိုင်ငံမှာတော့စင်ကာပူမှာဆိုတော့ဖမ်းခံဒါသူ့နိုင်ငံ rule ဖြစ်တယ်ဒါပေမဲ့ဗမာနိုင်ငံမှာသတိနဲ့မကောက်ထွေးကြံထွေးတယ်ဘာဖြစ်လဲဘာမှမဖြစ်ဘူးဒီနိုင်ငံမှာထွေးတယ်ဘာမှမဖြစ်ဘူးဒါပေမဲ့ထွေးတယ်လားမထွေးတယ်နော်အဲ့တော့အဲ့ဒါတွေကိုကျွန်တော်တို့က sorry တတ်ပြီလားလို့အဲ့တော့ဒါလေးတွေကိုကျွန်တော်တို့ကကလေးတွေကိုသင်ပေးမှာ Ema, go clear the big clima, about the low. Technically, they want you know. Pramla. Clean and be right in a bajong yamshin yard. The boy on below one home. Alga haja. Sorry that. Get the match. Oh, Jama, Punjong le called over a CIA. Piala Shuko Kamara, he come on, Jama's got an arm. For them, I'm them go then her a boy worried up at them. Stop your more me. So no Lutani Lula. So no the game is them cooling me, eh? So no Kamara like your mom, Yalam Tahu. Never borrowing my woman, we don't need up. Me about your dollar for here. What am I? Go clear dollar for this will be me. Go on 2 months then have it. I'm not go up, just in a clear damage. Hey, do you see going on Polly? I've been a card in Halloween. Have you seen what I'm being chow? How do you like in upon a beer? A go up, just in our mom then have it. Allah, General Mari, a poor worried ago, then I'm yappy with right ago. But then Yarrow, Popo Solar, a good child. No? General Dali go, clear go, then be okay? All right. So repeat after me. Warita to cease. Sarita to keep. So no to evil. Yes to good. Now in this case, evil means the warita, the 5 precepts, or whatever the law says. Good means sarita, the etiquette, moral conduct. Okay? So warita go sham, zarita go sam. I'll go Bamalo Lugi, the Aligo manager, warita go sham, zarita go sam. No, Miss Afia Jaffa and Bagamusha Gamusa, she on sick go tap. No? Okay. So here's the difference between the ethic, which is sarita, and the law. This is a definition from this country. Okay. So here the laws is formal, it's written document, ethic, usually unwritten policies, right? That's the culture or understanding between you and your mom or your dad, your friends, okay? Interpreted by courts, interpreted by individual, right? As I just explained to you. Someone's culture might be someone's no, right? So, because you may not know because you live in this country. The hand sign that I show you, your parents know it. It's real nasty in Burma. In French, I didn't learn that. So I was in French school. I studied French for 5 years or from my high school, right? So I was in the Sorbonne, which is the advanced class. So that's French teacher. As a young graduate, he came to Burma and he was teaching and he wanted us to work hard. So he was doing that sign. We all freak out. And we went to the head master and, you know, that new teacher showed us a really, really bad sign. So the principal came and asked the teacher, what did you do to the students? So the teacher said, what's wrong? I didn't do anything. So then we said, no, he did that to us. So then the principal realized, oh, no, that means that they want you to work hard. He wants you to work hard. That's very, very typical gesture in France. But in Burma, it's no, right? So that is the interpreted by each individual or the culture or the country. Law established by legislature, ethic presented by philosopher, religious group, professional group, right? I work for prison system. They use F words like 20 times in 1 minute. That's their normal. But for me, oh my goodness, right? So I tell these guys, don't use F words to me. And this is what they said. Dr. Lime, that's how we talk since we were little. I'm sorry, I can't change. What can I say? Right? So that's their acceptance between those prisoners or the low-class people, right? So those are the ethics applicable to everyone. It's a personal choice. Priority decided by court, priority determined by individual. Court makes final decision. No external decision maker. Enforceable by police and courts. Limited enforcement. Right? Your parent may enforce you. Other than that, they cannot do anything if you don't follow the ethic. Right? So, but we're going to focus a little bit more on that ethic piece today. Which is more important for you, your society and your country. Law-abiding versus, if you were to pick one for you or for your society or for your country, which one do you think is more important? Law-abiding citizen or ethical citizen? Where? Okay, raise your hand if you think, oh, law-abiding is more important. Raise your hand. Well, seems like you guys are now want to be ethical citizens more important. You think so? Okay. အဲ့တော့ကျွန်တော်တို့ကတရားဥပဒေလိုက်နာတဲ့လူနဲ့ right ကောင်းတဲ့လူသူရွေးမလဲ။နှစ်ယောက်ထဲကတစ်ယောက်ပဲရွေးရမယ်ဆိုရင်ကိုယ့်အတွက်ဖြစ်စေကိုယ့်မိသားစုအတွက်ဖြစ်စေကိုယ့်တိုင်းပြည်အတွက်ဖြစ်စေနော်ကျွန်တော်ခုနပြောလို့ပဲငါးပါးသီလလုံးဝမဖတ်ဘူးလေငါးပါးသီလမဖတ်ဘူးနော်နေရုံနေတယ်မိမနဲ့ထားရန်ဖြစ်မှာပေါ့ယောက်ျားနဲ့ထားချမှာပေါ့ဟာမိမကဘုရားဘာသာစစ်စစ်လေငါဘာသာလုံးဝမဖြစ်ဘူးနေမငါဒီပြီမိမငါစိတ်ထဲတော့မပြစ်မအောင်ဘာကြောင့်ရင်ထားဖြစ်တာကိုယောက်ျားငါဘာသာလည်းမချိုးဘူးလေချနေကြတာပဲ why ဘာဖြစ်လို့လဲ because right မှာပြဿနာတက်လာဟုတ်လားအဲ့တော့ so if you're ethical what kind of person you are they call you your gentleman or your gentle lady. Oh, that kid is respectful. Oh, that kid's polite. That kid's courteous. Oh, a very cordial person. I like him. She is very considerate. She's very gracious. Affable. Maybe you may not be familiar with this word. So now this, would you like these adjectives? Yeah, you want that, right? You want someone to address you like that. Oh, Tom is so gentleman, right? Kevin's very respectful to the elders. So it's very polite. Kat is very courteous. Nolan is very cordial. Wei is very considerate. Marina is very gracious. Right? So those kind of stuff you want it. But that does not include your 5 precepts. That includes your sarita, sila, which is you're being ethical. ကျွန်တော်တို့တွေကလူကြီးလူကောင်းဖြစ်ချင်တယ်သူများလေးစားတာခံချင်တယ်ယဉ်ကျေးတယ်လို့ပြောခံချင်တယ်ကိုယ်ကလေးတွေကိုကိုယ့်ကိုပေါ့နော်သူများယူသေးတာခံချင်တယ်သူများကိုချင်းဆာလာမှုရှိတာကိုလိုချင်တယ်ကျေးဇူးတက်တာကိုပြောခံချင်တယ်ဒါတွေဒီ၅ပါးသီလနဲ့မဆိုင်တော့ဘူးနော်ဝါရိတသီလနဲ့မဆိုင်ဘူးဒါဒီစာရိတသီလနဲ့ပဲဆိုင်ဟုတ်ပြီနော် Okay so how are we going to build a serendipitous life? Very beautiful. What is serendipitous? What is serendipity? Perfect and lucky. Okay, not only the perfect, it's you have a perfect, beautiful life. And you don't have to work hard. Isn't it good? That'll be good, right? So, all right, let's look at her. The whole picture. Let's critique on this picture from Sila point of view. Tell me, anyone to volunteer? Tell me what's going on here from the Sila point of view. Thomas. Is that because she doesn't have any? Is she poor? No, but she can't find the dress that she wants. Why? Good. What else? Anybody else? Yes, me. She's very unorganized. Very good. Kind. She is messy. Yes. So what's wrong with her? Is she breaking any precept? No. This picture doesn't tell you about killing, stealing, anything. But Is she ethical? Very unlikely, right? So, but do you think she's happy? No, she looks very depressed, right? She has so many clothes, but she can't find one. Why? She's spoiled. She's ungrateful, right? Now, so that is nothing related to Warita or the 5%, but that is talking about your ethical issue, right? So don't be like this. Hala, ကျွန်တော်တို့ကလေးတွေကိုခန်းသူတို့ခန်းတွေကိုတတ်ရက်ထားစေချင်တယ်ဆိုရင်ကိုကလည်းကိုခန်းကိုတတ်ရက်ထားပြဟုတ်ပြီနော်ဘလောက်ပဲပတ်စံရှိဘလောက်ပဲပစ္စည်းများအခုလိုမျိုးဆိုရင်ဘလုံးဝအဆင်ပြေမှာမဟုတ်ကြည့်လိုက်လေဒီမျိုးသမီးဒီချမ်းသာတဲ့မျိုးသမီးတို့များတယ်အင်ကြီးပေါင်းများစွာတယ်နော်သူအသုံးဆောင်ဟိုကတင်တွေပဲကြည့်ပြီးတော့ဒါပေမဲ့သူပြောမှာမဟုတ်ဘူးနော်သူငါးပါးသီလချိုးဖောက်တဲ့လူဟုတ်တယ်လို့ထင်ကြအကြောင်းတစ်ခုမှမရှိဘူးဒါပေမဲ့ तू မပြောဘူးဘာဖြစ်လို့လဲ तू ခုနစာရိတ္တသီလ तू မကောင်းဘူး right okay guys some of you guys might have been there no that's not Shirkumpura when do you know where that is no that's actually in Burma we've been there anybody knows where that is လူကြီးပြည်သိလဲဒါပဲဖျားတော့မုံရ very good ဘာဖျားတော့ Bodhidharma very good so this is the second largest standing stupa all over the world the second one the first one is in Japan the second one and this has 31 stories why 31 yes it has 31 stories why 31 31 rounds right so inside this standing stupa 31 stories and what does each story represent yes one round so you walk in and you will see one hell round so they have display about hell right so let's say you go to the angel realm so they have all the drawings and figurines and pictures about the angel realm now the Burmese Buddhist majority country what do you see there do you know where that is from that inside that pagoda I took the picture now think that's a betel nut chewing in Burma which is very common you don't see that in this country but those of you who have been to Burma or Asian country you'll know that a lot of people chew the betel nut and they spit nasty now not only that they spit on the street imagine they call themselves Buddhist inside the Buddha image inside these layers they do like that they spit they left all their trash inside now is it good is it something related to 5% no I'm sure every single Buddhist going inside this Buddha image 31 layers they are not going to break 5% but what are they breaking the sarita right inside the Buddha inside this Buddha yes yeah so Burma even though it's a Buddhist country even though Burmese call United States or any other country those they don't follow 5% they are not Buddhist this and that but they're poor when you go to Burma it's nasty dirty why because they don't keep the sarita the second type of sila now this is very very unacceptable right spitting on the street bad but it's okay but you're a Buddhist and you're spitting and leaving trash inside this Buddha image that's very nasty ကျွန်တော်တို့ဗမာတွေဗုဒ္ဓဘာသာလို့ပြောတယ်သူများနိုင်ငံကိုပုတ်ချသလားမင်းနဲ့ဟာအမေရိကန်လိုနိုင်ငံကြီးဟာပြဿနာရဲ့အရက်ကြီးသွားတဲ့နေရာမဟုတ်ဘူးငါးပါးသီလမလုံးဘူးပြောလိုက်ရင်တော့ ရရအောင်မရှိဘူးအဲ့လိုပြောတဲ့ဗမာတွေကပဲဒီရက်တော်မူကြီးကလေကဘာမှာဒုတိယအကြီးဆုံးအဲ့ထက်ဝင်သွားရင်30ပုံလောက်ထားအရန်ကိုကောင်းတယ်နော်ငရဲဆိုလဲငရဲကြောင်းလေးပြထားတယ်ဟိုကျွန်တော်တို့နတ်ပြည်ဆိုနတ်ပြည်ကြောင်းလေးပြထားတယ်ပြမကြီးကြောင်းလေးပြထားတယ်ဗမာတွေအဲ့ထက်မှာကွန်စတိုးချူးတယ်ဗျာအမိုက်တွေထားခဲ့တယ်ဗျာဒီကားတက်မှာပြောလိုက်ရင်တော့သူတို့လောက်ဘာသာရေးကိုကန်ရှင်းတာမရှိဘူးမင်းတို့ငါတို့ဖျားမစော်ကားနဲ့ဒါစော်ကားတာမဟုတ်ဘူးလားဖျားကိုတော်တဲ့ဝင်တဲ့ကွန်စတိုးထွေးတယ်အမိုက်တွေထားခဲ့အဲ့လိုနိုင်ငံကြီးဟာဘယ်လိုလုပ်တိုးတက်မလဲ right အဲ့တော့ကျွန်တော်တို့တွေကလည်းငါးပါးသီလကြီးပဲသင်ပေးနေလို့မရဘူးကလေးတွေကိုစာရိတ္တသင်ပေးရမယ်ကိုယ့်အိမ်မှာကလေးတွေဟိုစားရပြန်မလားထားတယ်ပကံဆေးမသွားဘူးဒီတိုင်းထားခဲ့တယ်စတဲ့ထက်လည်းပဲဖြစ်ကစံထက်တခြားစီမထက်ဘူးအဲ့ဒါစာရိတ္တနော်ငါးပါးသီလနဲ့ဘာမှမဆိုင်ဘူးဗုဒ္ဓဘာသာဖြစ်စေခရစ်ယာန်ဖြစ်စေမွတ်စလင်ဖြစ်စေ doesn't matter အဲ့စာရိတ္တဒီကျောင်းအောင်လည်းမသိဘူးကျွန်တော်ငယ်တုန်းကကျောင်းနေရတင်ပေးတယ်လောကနေဒီဆိုပြီးတော့ဗမာနိုင်ငံမှာလည်းခုမသိဘူးဒီနိုင်ငံမှာလည်းမသိဘူးဇုတောင်ကိုတောင်ကကိုချစ်လို့မွေးထားတဲ့ကလေးပြီးတော့မှဟာကလေးကစိုးလိုက်တာကျွန်မငယ်တုန်းကလုံမဟုတ်ပါဘူးကျွန်တော်ငယ်တုန်းကလုံမဟုတ်ပါဘူးဆိုတာကျွန်တော်ငယ်တုန်းကကိုမိဘတင်ခဲ့တယ်ကိုမမှတ်မိဘူးဒါမှမဟုတ်လည်းကျောင်းအောင်တင်တယ်အခုကကြတော့ကိုကတော့မသိဘူးဒါပေမဲ့ကိုကလေးကိုအဲ့လို expect လုပ်ရမလို့right okay look at that picture and tell me what will you do and put a new one in right so how many times have you sinned like this someone in front of you used the bathroom you stopped didn't put it back in raise your hand if you have sinned a few times at least yeah okay so you're not the only one so that is about being ethical now we're not talking about ethical we're not talking about religion right we're not talking about stealing we're not talking about making perfect clean up your house we're talking something minor like this now this is the ethical stuff this is the sarita stuff right so a lot of time what you do is you go to the bathroom you're on your phone and you're playing game or you're watching on whatever Instagram or YouTube or whatever and you use it up sometimes you even forget to clean your rears or well you may not forget that but you forget to replace this that tells your ethic that's bad right so start changing from this level okay ဟုတ်လားလူကြီးတွေဘယ်နှခါတူလဲကိုကလေးအိမ်ကနောက်ဆုံးဆောက်ရလေး3ရက်ပြန်မထည့်ပါဘူးကလေးအသင်ပေးရမယ်နော် yeah all right okay so how do we know so because we're talking about Buddhism here right we're learning Buddhism here now did Buddha talk about that yes he did but unfortunately Buddha didn't talk about this detail for the lay person like us but Buddha he actually laid in detail about the novices the young monks okay we see that in this sutta called Khandaka Vutta Sutta okay if you are serious enough to become a monk you start as a novice and you got to follow this Khandaka Vutta and it has a lot of things and I'm just putting in just a few all right Kevin could you read a few of those for me please okay so there are 109 guidelines that Buddha laid out for the monks for the novices all right some majority of those you can practice this in your life too right? Things like this, right? So those are the ethical guidelines the Buddha gave. Okay? Right, general, that's what the Ludi who hog it kama, Sarita and Warita so your yoga. Sarita or do a titi chacha, titi yoga. Do you yoga with Messa Piadi? Messa Piaz Sarita and Patapiro, Menglato. Netting a lower at the yoga shit. I mean, allow them say. But do a yoga less raw, general, Messa Caddy, 2 years, honey of yoga shit. The honey, Shinchu and Diago Bassa, she, Lin Seva, Dan Seva, Kana was Saliva, the Kia with Kanasang Avasu, Diago Ballon target. I Diago Boman, Alo General and me by yoga go bar. Are we not? A sa and blah 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 masao. Ego Chilo Nikama Dono Romeo Mania Usra Hadi. That's of Yaga. Using Erigo, a poet him a combat. No? The wrong and Bajon Dida Lesro, I hardly go. That's what Piaga, Luidolum Hogero, Balo the Lesro, she she's Yaro Iliga, Generogo, Piambiro, the Logan needed my Tebiro, Johnny Mapian the beer. Go a Logan Israel, Mashiro, but don't know what I'm a paja. Huh? Dari Beaya Lesro, the Kanaka West Ray, yes of Piaga, the Goyani Uni, Uze and Gerigo, the Jim went in a tired hammer, go Shiva. Huh? DJ, I'm a dopper. Yeah, cousin do the how go clear better. No, Polo and Logan is deep. What would you do if you see something like this? If you do something like this, if you want to be ethical, if you have a good moral conduct, what would you do? Yeah, and take all the courts, put it in place, right? Yes. Yes, you do know where there is because it's my house, my kids, right? So moral conduct we're talking about here. Moral conduct starts from your bathroom, your toilet paper, right? Your phone call, right? That's a Sarita Sila. Okay, without that, your life will not be beautiful. There will be no serendipity. If your life is not beautiful, your family life will not be beautiful. If your family life is not beautiful, your society will not be beautiful. Then your country and go on and so on and so forth. Right? So please, not only focus on the 5 precepts. This is the Sarita Sila is even more important for all of us. Okay?